I'm very concerned about where our country is going. It's quite clear that those who have and get more, and those who don't have, which is 99% of us, are getting deeper and deeper in the hole. The people who need a break the most are not getting it, and the people who don't deserve what they have because they've got it through corruption and greed have impunity. And I'm hoping that my place here in this group might inspire one or two more other people to join us to think about the issue and to become part of 99%, as they are already.
The point of the occupation is economic injustice. In the state of Maine, over 51,000 people are unemployed. 19,000 of them are not even collecting unemployment, and there isn't enough work. These people are treated as second-class citizens. I want people to be able to work and to be able to actually pay for a roof over their heads. There's too many people living on the street. There's not enough fuel assistance. $330 a year is not going to heat anybody's house for a Maine winter.
Basically disgusted with the system. I'm tired of seeing our elected officials vote for lobbyists and not for us. I believe we should be taxing the rich and pumping up the economy so people can have jobs. I believe that we shouldn't be supporting the fossil fuel industry, that we should be promoting locally produced renewable energy. Those are some of the main reasons I'm here.
I believe that the system right now is unequal. I believe that as a voting student, I have an obligation to speak up. The democratic institutions in this country for too long have remained apathetic, have remained silent, and enough is enough. And I'm so happy that there's other people here speaking up, becoming engaged, and that's why I'm here today.
When I think of the Pledge of Allegiance and how it ends with liberty and justice for all, and we're so far from justice for all, I'm sickened by it. I don't feel it's right for a few people at the top to have so much, and the poor and the lower middle class, the middle class, to have relatively little, especially the poor. I think we need to take care of each other, and that community is really important. And I think that the U.S. has gone too far in the other direction of everyone for himself and to hell with the rest. That's why I'm here.
I think that our Congress has been bought by the big corporations, and we're all getting the tail end of the deal. It happened before the first Depression, and now it's happening again because they relaxed all the laws that were put in place after the first Depression. So I think that things need to change.
The middle class is really the economic engine of this country, and we have basically gutted it. And that's not even good for corporations. And everybody believes that, after the fall of communism, the capitalism had won or something. And there's a lot of things wrong with the way we practice capitalism, and we need more democracy. This is about bringing democracy back into our system.
To me, whatever happens with the occupations, this movement has been a huge success already. The debate in Washington and in most of the political organizations was for so long bogged down in talking about how do we fix the deficit? How do we cut the budget? More austerity. And now, for the first time in my life anyway, a big part of the discussion is the inequality of wealth. 99%, 1%. That's part of the discussion in a national way as well as all the local ways. To me, that's huge because I'm one who really, really profoundly believes that we can't fix health care or all of the things that we all want to see changed unless we deal with the 99% 1% issue. So for the next few weeks, every Saturday, we're going to have a theme. We're going to talk next week about shopping local. Why is local business part of changing this 99% 1%? Somebody else is working on a flyer around energy policy and how we can't fix energy policy as long as our resources are so divided like that. There are any number of things we could be talking about, but it's a way of us thinking about what we're for, not just what we're against.
Yes.
And concretely saying, these are the things we want, and we'll never have them unless we deal with 99% 1%.
I'm here to better my future, better my daughter's future. I'm here because corporations are not people. They're buying our politicians, they're taking away our freedoms, and we're turning into a third world country where our government doesn't care about us, they care about profits. They care about the people who are putting money in their pockets. And we have more homeless on the street every day, we have more people out of work every day, and they tell us to go out and get a job. Well, how are we supposed to do that when they're the ones who are making it so hard for us to get a job, so hard for companies like local businesses to stay open? I'm here to promote local produce, local businesses, local people, to help each other. Nobody helps each other anymore. Everybody's in it for themselves, and it's time it stops. We were on the verge of financial collapse, and my tax dollars bailed these guys out, and I'm still struggling. My girlfriend's still struggling to put food on the table for our daughter and for our families. And we're tired of struggling, and I think everybody else is too. And I think we're being heard. I think we could be louder. And I think when everybody realizes what we're doing is right, they'll join us. But I think a lot of people are scared. They're scared of change.
I live in Germany. I work for the U.S. government, the Army, at Stuttgart. And we saw this occupation, so I said, hey, I want to join in.
I think everybody would understand that we have to get beyond the local common good to a kind of notion of global common good. And we have to also think of the three big crises that we have now. The first crisis is education, the second one is equality, and the third one is the environment. And we need, I'm afraid I have to say this, an enlightened government to put these three things together. And that's why we have to raise taxes to where it was under Eisenhower. Under Eisenhower, the very top rate was 90.1%. But that would mean that if you made $5 million, $100 million, that you still get a pretty good amount of money left over from, you'd still get $9 million. This general that was so insightful is we have to get back to that. Use the money that might come from those taxes to help the suffering and the detail and this crisis of the economy and the crisis of the environment. Every one of us has a responsibility to otherness, to just and loving attention to the other, has a responsibility for the well-being of the planet, a responsibility to adaptation to the environment. And these are all just crucial things that we need to see. How do we get people to see the truth?
I'm a retired social worker, and I work part-time, retired. I just want to make a point about the fact that I think politicians don't want to hear us talk about class war, but I think this is evident now. We're in a class war and we're losing. And if the average American doesn't pay attention, we're going to lose. And an outstanding example of that is Bank of America, last year in 2010. They made $4 billion in profit after being bailed out with $1 trillion of taxpayers' money. And then they got a $10 billion tax refund from the IRS in 2010. And if that isn't class war, I don't know what is.
The corporations, the banks have the power, the people don't, and that's getting more and more. It's increasing, and it affects everything. It affects the schools, it affects healthcare, it affects all parts of our life, and we need big change. I don't know what the change is, but I'm happy to see people are talking about what doesn't work, and they're open to new ideas.